Good morning, and welcome to Cohort 24 and 25 graduation of 2022. I'm your host today, Michael Barnes, Career Navigator at Association House of Chicago. Today is a day of hard work, commitment, and determination. Congratulations from all our hearts at Association House of Chicago. Because of your accomplishments, someone smiled today. They gained confidence and felt inspired. Family and friends, welcome. We ask if you could stay muted until the ceremony is completed. Please feel free to use words of encouragement and emojis in the chat during the graduation. Now I would like to take a moment to spotlight our wonderful bank partners and our wonderful sponsors. Without you, this amazing work is because of you. Today's agenda, we will hear from our keynote speaker, Jake Gross. Then we will hear from our two graduate speakers, Michael Batts and Elise Sanchez. Then we will hear from all our graduates. And then we will close the ceremony. Up first, we will hear from our keynote speaker, Jake Gross. Jake?
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent, good. You can see my bio up there. I'm going to talk through some things, but I first want to say congratulations to everybody who are in one of these two cohorts and who are graduating. This is a huge step to what I hope for all of you is a long career in banking. And I'll talk a little bit more about why I like banking. I think a lot of people, when I was a little boy, I don't think I ever thought to myself, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to be a banker, or I'm going to work in CRA, which is a very specific type of banking. But I want to talk a little bit about what I do at the bank, my history in banking, and give you maybe some tips for navigating your careers in the financial industry, because it is beyond being a critical aspect of our nation and our country and our economy. It's just very important to be that person there who's helping people manage their money. So let's talk a little bit. CRA, I'm sure you guys covered it a little bit. I spend a lot of time working with nonprofits in the community, making sure we're doing fair lending. A lot of my job is really just taking our resources and redirecting them into low and moderate income communities throughout our areas, which are Chicago and Milwaukee. And it's a great job. It's very interesting sometimes. It's very boring sometimes, like all jobs. But it's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize, that there is an entire career of just doing community-based work for a financial institution. So that's always one thing that I find is going to be very surprising for you, is as you folks go through the job fair and get hired at all these wonderful banks who are going to be attending. Hopefully some byliners will come out of this as well. You're going to start to see the tons and tons of different opportunities and different paths you can potentially take. So let me talk a little about my history in banking, because it's an unlikely one. I actually started out in banking when I was 18 years old, so 2 years ago. You could see, I just told you how old I was when I started my career in banking, so you could do some math there. And I got my first job as a favor. One of my sister's friends was the manager of a TCF bank inside of a Cub Foods. I don't know if anybody remembers Cub Foods. It was a grocery store that doesn't exist in the Chicagoland area. But anyway, that was my first step in. And I think that's important to say. Sometimes, and actually a lot of my career has been, I'm able to get some sort of help, favor, asking for those kinds of things. So I got that first job in banking as an opportunity that I'm not sure if I would have gotten otherwise. Maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit, but that's really important. So then I worked through college. After I was at TCF Bank, I worked at a small community bank for quite a while called Mid-America Bank. They're now part of PNC over the last few years, but I worked through college and I was going to school to be a high school teacher. And so that was my career focus. I wanted to teach high school. And while I was working full-time, going to school full-time, eventually did some student teaching and found out very late in my degree pursuit that teaching was not going to be for me. So I graduated college, And I was an assistant branch manager at a bank. So I had worked my way up from starting as a teller to being a teller supervisor to being an assistant branch manager. And then once again, the watershed moment of a career, I was at a meeting, an assistant branch manager's meeting, and the head of training and development was talking. And I did this thing where I walked up to her and said, hey, I've got a lot of banking experience and I know about teaching, and they had a job open, and that just kind of that networking brought me into the new job, right? That was really interesting to me because it was about going up to somebody, asking them, and constantly trying to grow and learn new things. But I told you I'm a CRA officer, so I ended up managing the training and development department at Byline for quite a while. And in 2015, this position opened up, and it sounded really cool. It's like I can go out in the community, I can grant money, I can make sure we're being responsible in the way that we lend to small businesses and in mortgages. But I didn't feel like I was super qualified for it. And this is another lesson, and something that I want to add to advice here is, just because you read the paper and it says that you're not qualified for the job, that's not always true. I looked at that and all the experience and the compliance background, I had none of that. But I went into that interview thinking about the skills that I had and how they can translate, and I got the job. And now I actually lead a networking group of almost every CRA officer in the Chicagoland area. And if there are CRA officers who are not in that group, they're always welcome to join. So I've gone from taking a job and taking a chance on something to kind of what I see as being a little bit of a leader in my field, which is cool. And that's not somewhere I ever thought that I would be. So when I think about, and I have a whole little section on advice. The second thing I'm going to talk about just a little bit about your new careers. And I see, what I love is I love seeing all the congratulations in the chat. I'm so happy that you guys are all graduating and getting started in this career. But I've said this before to a lot of people, banking is the backbone of the US economy. Everybody always looks at the stock market. During the pandemic, the stock market was doing fine while we were all in a lot of trouble. Banking is the backbone of our economy. It's how money gets lent. It's how people buy homes. It's how credit cards happen. And it's how the economy runs. So you're becoming part of an industry that literally keeps everything going forward. And I have a little bit of notes here. I mentioned this earlier, but there are so many available careers. You're going to start out working maybe as a teller or a banker or a universal banker, depending on what the different bank calls it. And a lot of people get happy with that and they like working with customers. But then some people say, well, I wish I can work in the back office. Why not? Why not look for those opportunities and apply for them? I'm actually going to give you an example. There's this guy, Sam, who I work with. And I love Sam. When I managed learning and development, I did not have positions open. But Sam really wanted to work on my team. And so he kind of talked to me about that. I gave him a position called job coach, where he trained a lot of new people at his branch. And then when I left that position and there were some jobs open, he applied 3 times. Twice he did not get the job. This is 3 times over about 5 years. And just about a month ago, Sam applied again. And I was talking to the current manager of learning and development. She said, I got Sam here again. He's applying. And I said, I think he'd be really good. We had a little conversation. Sam is now part of that. So Sam going from being an assistant manager to being in training mirrors my background a little bit. But the idea is he was persistent. He kept trying to upskill himself. He found a path that he wanted to take. And he looked at some of those qualifications and said, I think I can rise above those qualifications. So that is a huge deal. There are so many positions, and I keep talking about training, but there are operations positions, commercial banking positions, mortgage lending. There's all these areas that you can get into. And the way that you get into them usually is starting out in banking. I also think community banks are particularly important. Not that I'm throwing any shade on our big bank folks, the PNCs and the Chases. Those are all great, but community banks are nice because you are in, and even those big banks are a part of their community, right? So their branches are there, their employees know who works in their community, and they become part of that neighborhood. Generally, the employees are working with all of the local businesses, they're volunteering in the community, and so you are one of those branch workers who during the pandemic, you were essential workers. It was necessary to have you in there. So you're joining a really great workforce that has a lot to offer. And the last thing I want to mention about this is that we are all, those of you who just graduated, we are now peers. So when we speak, when you look for me on LinkedIn and we talk, we're going to talk as if we are peers. We are both We are all bankers at this point now. And so keep that in mind as well when you're working at your bank and the CEO visits or some other senior person. You are their peer, you are a banker as well. And so when you take that approach, people notice, right? It's just very important to have that great attitude. And I really think anybody in the BankWorks program has already taken a lot of initiative to go out and say, I want to start a new career. I'm going to attend all these trainings and push through all this different stuff. You're already that person who's dedicated. So you're already showing a lot of promise. Okay, my last little section that I have before I wrap up is just to give you some little pieces of advice that I would have, things that I have kind of gleaned from the last 20 plus years working in banking. And I've talked about some of this stuff. Sorry, I'm just making my notes bigger because I'm getting old. Number one, never ever stop learning and asking questions ever. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you can't get good at the next thing. The way that somebody goes from being a universal banker to being a supervisor is they start asking questions, they start helping the supervisor, they start learning. That is how you're going to do it. Curiosity is really what's going to get you, being curious. If you're bank and you get there and they offer a program where you can go tour the back office or shadow somebody, take those opportunities. Even if it doesn't work out and you don't like it, it's always good to just be curious. The people who are the most valuable are the people who always want to learn more, question things. I actually, when I used to manage training, I always told folks, asking questions does not make you appear unintelligent. I think that is the most intelligent thing you can do is ask questions, try and understand the why, try and learn things. So don't be afraid to do that throughout your career. Even if it's not something about your current career and you're asking somebody a question of, hey, you're a mortgage lender, how do I get into that? Those are good questions to be asking people. Next one is taking opportunities to meet people. So sometimes like my bank will have an annual all employee meeting. And some employees skip those things and some go to them. I would encourage you that when you have meetings where you get together and get a chance to meet other members of the bank, take those. You would never know when meeting somebody is going to turn into an opportunity. So the more folks you meet and leave an impression on, especially within the industry, the better. I already talked about this, but I think it's really important. Take the chances on jobs that you feel you may not be qualified for. A lot of times you're going to look at these job postings and these descriptions. And again, I say this after you've got a little banking experience, right? But once you've done that for a while and you see, hey, our Bank Secrecy Act has a fraud investigator job. That sounds pretty cool, but I don't know, I don't seem really qualified for it. Think about it for a second. Call the person who's hiring for that. I can tell you that Byline, we have a lot of folks in our risk department, which is where I work, risk and compliance, folks in our fraud investigations team, folks on the BSA team who came from the branches. We actually need folks who understand the way that branches work in those positions. And those positions are kind of cool. They're doing investigations. We're mitigating risk. We've seen people within my bank coming out of our retail area and flourishing in back office roles, in other different types of roles. So again, I think a really important thing is just to make sure you go out there and take chances. What you don't want to do is every week you're applying for a new job. That doesn't look good. But what you do want to do is if you're interested in something and it seems like you can probably at least get an interview, I would think about applying to some of those things after you've had some banking experience, because once you get your foot in the door, the world to being in the finance industry just opens way up. And I would love to see more of you at different levels as my peers in the future. As I'm wrapping up, I just want to say one last time, I am really honored to be asked to come and speak at this event at your graduation. This is a huge, huge day for all of you. I am so happy for you. I want to extend my deepest and most sincere congratulations. Again, please go out and look for me on LinkedIn. You'll see that same wonderful picture of me with the Thompson Center in the background. And I always want to be there to give people advice and help. So just reach out to me and congratulations. And I'm looking forward to you guys all having a wonderful and long career in banking. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Jake. Thank you so much also for that wonderful presentation. I agree with you. Banking is the backbone of the U.S. economy. Up next, I am so excited about this part of our ceremony. We get to hear from our two graduate speakers. Up first, we have Michael Batts, and then we will have Elise Sanchez. But up first, Michael Batts, take it away.
All right, I'll try to start things off, work off the nerves. I just want to say good morning to everyone, and I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Gross, kicking it off in such an honorable way. And got to give a shameless plug. I know my my classmates are tired of hearing me, but I'm a huge CRA fan and have plans of hopefully getting to compliance down the road. So I'm very encouraged and inspired by your story and your insights that you shared with us this morning. Just wanted to say to my classmates, we made it. I want everybody to take a deep breath because, we made it. And it wasn't that long ago that we all took a leap of faith and applied to the BankWorks program in the effort to better our lives and to build a stronger foundation for our future. Do you remember that day? Because I know I do. Do you remember the hope and naive confidence we all had when presenting the best of ourselves in the initial interview process? Then we also, we expanded some of that focus, channeled it into fighting off nerves, whether it was in our personal life situations or just everyday travel, all while working through various assignments and class sessions. It didn't matter what the challenges were. We all fought hard to get to this day. Now, like I like to say all the time, no one becomes a master of their craft without having excellent guidance and influences along the way. And to my classmates and instructors, best believe you had a positive impact on not only me, but also everyone around you. From group activities to sharing our real life scenarios, every interaction presented a learning opportunity. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a special thanks to some of my classmates here. I want to start out with Noemi. Noemi, I want to thank you for always bringing such a positive attitude, great drive, a kind approach to class on a daily basis. No matter the weather, you brought sunshine into our lives, which was much needed. Next up, I want to give a shout out to Liani. Liani, I also want to thank you for being a great team player, always participating, checking on classmates, and displaying a willingness to share your notes and thought out ideas. Definitely leaned on you a few times, absolutely. And then Alexis, I want to thank you as well for bringing great balance of professionalism and laughter into the classroom. You were never scared to be yourself while sharing entertaining customer service experiences in which we all could learn from. And then there's Candace. Candace, your energy is amazing. Not as if you don't already know that, of course, but I just want to thank you as well for enlightening us with that incredible smile and that law of attraction type of energy that you share with us as well on a daily basis, making us all feel like a family. I believe excelling at customer service will be a breeze for you. Absolutely. And then there's Yasmin. Yasmin, I want to also thank you for being on point. You kept me focused every day, always checking my answers and my counting. You are as focused as they come, and your perseverance, relatability, attention to detail, and willingness to assist others was very much appreciated. And then there's Erica. If walking softly but carrying a big stick was a person, it would definitely be Erica, and I definitely mean that in a good way. Erica, your measured approach is something to behold, and if there was a test to be had, it was you who captured the highest scores. So we definitely appreciate your effort and your leadership. And then Deontay, of course. Deontay, the ideal model of a great classmate. Deontay, you never missed a day, which is absolutely admirable. And we all need to live up to that standard in our next journey. I want to thank you for presenting our cohort well in class workshops, never being afraid to ask tough questions, and providing interesting perspectives and approaching challenges and being complimentary to your peers. And then to like what I like to call our senseis, our North Stars, our instructors, to Sherry, to Mike Barnes, to Danielle, to Luz, to our director of the program, Phil, and to Sawyer, of course. We want to say thank you for selecting us. Not only for selecting us, but providing a platform that enabled us to acquire knowledge and networking skills that will be needed to be successful within the banking industry. Whether it was being professional, learning how to provide appropriate customer service, properly conducting transactions, counting a drawer, or being aware of banking laws, it was an honor to be on the receiving end of your leadership and your guidance throughout the program. And last but not least, we would like to thank Boeing and our program partners for funding the program and making today possibility. And we also would like to thank our banking partners who took the time out to share their insights and informative experiences in all the workshop and networking events. On behalf of all the BankWork participants, I would like to send a special thank you to all the stakeholders who helped us get here. We all really appreciate the opportunity, and now it's time for us to put in the work. Good luck to everyone. I have the utmost confidence in all of you. And remember, now this is your life. This is your career. Remember to have fun and put your best foot forward. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I feel like you're coming from my hosting gig for next year, so I gotta look out for you. But that was awesome, Michael. Up next, let's hear from Elise Sanchez. Elise.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Elise Diaz Sanchez, and thank you for attending our graduation today. I want to say I feel extremely blessed to be here and to be able to be a class speaker. I do want to say thank you before anything to Luz Hernandez, my wonderful instructor. She ensured that we had absolutely all the resources we needed, always with a smile and a positive attitude. I would also like to thank Sawyer, Mike, Sherry, Danielle, and Phil. Without you guys, we would really not have this program. I'd like to thank Anna Chavez, a previous BankWork graduate, for sending me the link to enroll in BankWorks that would so drastically change my life. I want to thank her for starting 773 Nurture with me during a time of such uncertainty, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Most importantly, I want to thank my parents for always believing in me despite the obstacles that have popped up along the way. Gracias por apoyarme incondicionalmente, por crearme con valores positivos y empatía. Los amo con todo mi corazón. Este logro se los dedico a ustedes.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're right here with me. And of course, thank you to all our founders and supporters of Association House of Chicago. Prior to BankWorks, I was completely lost career-wise. I was looking up schools and was lost on what I wanted to study after gen eds. Then Anna sent me the link to sign up for this cohort, and I have not looked back since. I do not even see myself in the same way. I'm here to persevere and help my community with empathy and my strong passion for philanthropy. BankWorks helped me get there. Let me explain. I have a strong management background, but I felt drained, unappreciated, and I yearned to help my community. I left my job right before COVID-19 began. In December of 2020, I started helping and giving back to my community. With the help of Anna Chavez, we started 773 Nurture to feed the homeless of the southwest side of Chicago. We were able to learn by ourselves how to develop funds and allocate resources to help during one of the most brutal Chicago winters. It filled my heart with a joy that I honestly never knew I could experience. I loved seeing the same faces of those who we were helping out every week, and we even got to give out nicknames. Doing all of that made me want to tackle some of the problems directly from the source. I firmly believe in bringing financial literacy to our children and neighborhoods to prevent some of the tragedies that we have heard from our homeless. Believe it or not, a small savings account can make or break someone when there's a catastrophe like COVID-19. There were people who had careers and families, but lost their jobs and their homes during the quarantine and saw themselves losing everything that they worked so hard for. I'm certain that as a relationship banker, I can make a difference by helping people plan their financial futures and better prepare for emergencies like COVID. During this program, I was not only able to strengthen my existing skills, but also learn everything from building rapport to handling difficult customer situations and setting up a LinkedIn to network, and even learned what is appropriate professional attire. BankWorks honestly feels like such a blessing. They hand us a set of keys to the path to success. They not only gave us the resources we need to be a great banking professional, but also helped us get our universal banker certification from the American Bankers Association. BankWorks has given me the confidence to carry myself differently. I know that 55% of communication is through body language. I used to not pay attention to my demeanor when I was working or typing, but now I try to smile all throughout my day and use positive body language to reinforce what I'm saying. With that said, this program not only prepared me to re-enter the workforce after COVID-19, but also helped me personally in being a more open-minded person, more understanding and knowledgeable ways to help out my community. To my classmates and future coworkers, 1,000 congratulations for sticking with the program. These 10 weeks flew by, thanks to all of our interactions and participation from the class. I am blessed to have you as classmates. I'm thankful for all of us having the same passion to better ourselves and our communities. I see it through your participation, even when the days were dark and stormy and we all still showed up. I thank you for speaking up regularly and for working to better yourselves, because it is much easier to be inspired when you have all positive mindsets around you. We worked hard towards this goal, and I'm happy to stand here and say we did that. I can't wait to see where you all end up, and I'm sure we will continue to network as a tightly knit class and help each other help our communities. I want to leave you with this thought today. Milton Berle said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." I'm proud to say that I, Alicia Sanchez, have built my door with Association House of Chicago and BankWorks. I now have my keys to success, and I'm ready to open up my door and begin my career to become your next relationship banker. With that said, if anyone joining us for our ceremony feels similarly to what I described, I'd like to invite you to try this door, the BankWorks store, which will open again for those in need of career guidance and preparation on Monday, July 25th, 2022. Please contact Association House by calling 773-276-0084, extension 3107. Thank you, and graduates, congratulations to all of you.
Awesome, well said. And Elise, you are awesome. You are awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, we will begin the graduate ceremony. Please stay muted during this time. Here to introduce our graduates are two outstanding instructors, Sherry Richardson and Luz Hernandez. Take it away, Sherry.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you to all of our funders for supporting this program. It wouldn't be possible without you. And thank you to our speakers today, Jake and Michael and Elise. You guys did a wonderful job. So it's my honor to kick off the introductions of our June 2022 graduates. So I'm excited for all of you. Many of you started this program unsure of what to expect, but your different personalities brought unique perspectives to the classroom, and you all made it a great experience. So it was our privilege to see you all grow in knowledge and confidence during our 10 weeks together. And I have no doubt that you will be successful in your banking careers and your future endeavors. So our first graduate we're going to acknowledge is Michael Batts Jr. Michael has a passion for solving problems and assisting those in underserved communities. He has 15 years of experience in sales and customer service, 7 years of experience in business development, 5 years experience with cash handling, as well as supervisory experience. Michael has a strong foundation of marketing and customer service training, which includes putting the customer first, paying attention to detail, and having efficient cash handling techniques. During this program, he obtained the Universal Banker Certificate offered through the American Bankers Association, and he was recognized in his classroom for submitting his homework assignments on time. Michael is eager to partner with the right mission-driven bank that will allow him to utilize their platform to open countless opportunities to their customers and community residents who need it most. Congratulations, Michael. Our next graduate we are going to recognize is Erica Colon. Erica had a passion for finance and business since she was a little girl. Her previous work experience gained her strong communication skills, quality customer service, ability to build relationships with people, cash handling skills, teamwork and leadership, accuracy skills, attention to detail, and organization skills. Erica has 8.5 years of customer service experience, 5.5 years of sales experience, and 5 years experience in cash handling. She has obtained the Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. During the BankWorks program, Erica was recognized for her confidence and for acing all of her exams. She takes pride in her integrity and commitment to her work and personal life. She is passionate about helping people daily and looks forward to helping customers with their financial needs. Congratulations, Erica. Our next graduate is Liani De Leon. Liani is organized, trustworthy, hardworking, kind, and has great care and empathy for others. Her background consists of 4.5 years in customer service and 3 years experience in cash handling. Like her classmates, Liani also obtained the Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. She was recognized in front of her peers for submitting her homework assignments on time during the BankWorks program. Liani desires to showcase her positive attitude and humorous personality in her banking career and is ready to join an institution that represents positivity and a family-like environment. Congratulations, Liani. Next up is Deontay Iverson. Deontay's professional life began at 16 years old. He has been a jack of all trades and a master of some, from being raised as a plumber to assisting personnel and guiding a ship through troubled waters. He has seen both the beauty and challenges in professional settings. A portion of his background includes 5 years in customer service, 4.5 years in cash handling, and 3 years of experience in sales. Deontay is a United States Navy veteran. During his time in service, he earned the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal for exemplary service. During the program, he obtained the Universal Banker Certificate and earned the Perfect Attendance Award. Deontay is excited to begin his career in the banking industry with a desire to eventually work in the area of philanthropy. Congratulations, Deontay. Up next is Noemi Marchand. Noemi is a quick learner, adapts quickly, and is approachable. She fluently speaks and writes in English and Spanish. She has 1 year of customer service and cash handling experience. At her very first job, she received a promotion in less than 4 months. Noemi is a proud early high school graduate of the Association House High School. She earned her diploma in January of this year and has been accepted to attend Truman College in the fall. During this program, Noemi obtained the Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. She is ready to apply her communication, listening, and organization skills and the love of working in a fast-paced environment towards a role in the banking industry. Congratulations, Noemi. Next graduate we will recognize is Yasmin Miranda. Yasmin has 6 years of experience in customer service and cash handling and 4 years of experience in sales. She has held roles of task associate and beauty advisor at Ulta, optician at Warby Parker, cashier at Kohl's, and apparel associate at Target. She is proficient in balancing her cash drawers and in attention to detail. Yasmin obtained her Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. She is ready to combine her knowledge from previous employers with what she has learned in the BankWork program in order to properly assist customers with their financial needs and meet her goals in the banking industry. Congratulations, Yasmin. Our next graduate is Candace Wells. Candace is dedicated, a hard worker, a leader, and takes full responsibility for her actions. She has 5 years of experience in customer service, 4 years in cash handling, and 1 year of sales experience. Over the years, she strengthened her interpersonal and communication skills in customer service and learned how to process transactions while maintaining and balancing cash in her care. During the program, Candace also obtained her Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. She is driven to gain more knowledge of the financial industry to share with her family, friends, and community so she and they can make appropriate financial decisions to meet their individual goals. Congratulations, Candace. Up next is Alexis Williams. Alexis has 8 years of experience in customer service and 5 years of experience in cash handling. She has held roles of team management member at CVS Pharmacy, cashier at Burlington, barista at Mariano's, and cashier at AP Deli. Her skills include building rapport with customers and sales upselling. Alexis obtained her Universal Banker Certificate through the American Bankers Association. She is ready to begin her banking career as a Universal Banker with a focus on helping customers improve their finances. Congratulations, Alexis. I will now turn it over to our other instructor, Luz Hernandez, to introduce the remaining graduates.
Okay, let's see here. Can everybody hear me? Sometimes my little button gets stuck. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Okay, we're going to get started and move forward with our next cohort. As Sherry said, thank you, Sherry, for the introduction. My name is Luz Hernandez, and I do work here at Association House of Chicago as a financial careers facilitator instructor. I had the honor of instructing our 23rd BankWorks cohort. I'd like to give a special thank out for all the families and friends and parents who are present and maybe in a different country like Mexico or India who are listening in and supporting our graduates today. Because of you, they are taking these actions to better their futures and pursue a career in the financial industry. Our participants are required to commit to a very extensive training. Many were very much juggling full-time jobs, working nights, and still after getting off from nights, arriving on to class and participating and engaging, juggling a variety of other responsibilities as well. I admire their perseverance in staying up late, finishing assignments and meeting homework deadlines. Yes, I do give out a lot of emails and a lot of communication and homework. It's part of the program and training. Regardless of how difficult the program was for them, they persevered because they desire to provide a better future for their families, to make them proud of their accomplishments here today. We also learn how to be inclusive and be accepting of diversity in the workforce. To our diverse, multicultural families and friends, thank you. Gracias. Tajanbat for being here. I think I said that correctly. We appreciate Association House of Chicago's Workforce team for continuing to modify and offer our BankWorks financial careers training to our communities. A special thank you for the graduates as well. You should pat yourselves on the shoulder and be very proud of your accomplishment. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my knowledge and experience with you. To all the graduates, we got a glimpse into everybody's personal and professional lives as we learned from one each other during our BankWorks training. I will miss you, graduates. You were a devoted, hardworking, committed, engaged, and enjoyable cohort. Every day you added a personal touch to our classes. As one of your BankWorks instructors, I noticed that these graduates' determination to pursue a profession was to enable them to better their families, their communities, their lives, and their future. Graduates, it's been rewarding to watch all of you develop professionally and personally. Let me get started with that in mind. I will now like to present to you our BankWorks 23rd cohort graduates. First person up is Elias Diaz Sanchez, who was just nominated as one of our class speakers. Elias Diaz Sanchez has earned a recognition for never missing a class in perfect attendance for BankWorks training. She is bilingual, speaks English and Spanish very fluently. She has 8 years of experience in customer service, sales, and cash handling, 7 years in retail management experience, 2 years of experience in data entry with supervisory experience. She also earned her American Bankers Association certificate as a universal banker in June 2022. Elise also hopes to secure a job as a personal banker. Let me share a little bit about Elise. She's always been an enthusiastic person in class. She was born and raised not only as a child immigrant, but as a hardworking individual whose family is from Mexico and now resides in the South Side. Being an only child, Elise gave the opportunity for herself to develop her verbal skills, which helped her be ambitious, confident, and independent. Elise has always gone above and beyond in her studies. By the end of kindergarten, Elise had been chosen to have her first book published, which she wrote in English with a Spanish translation. Eventually, Elise would continue excelling in her schoolwork, receiving mostly A's honor roll and keeping a high grade point average. Elise observed and learned the ropes of being a retail supervisor very early in her work experience, which then led her to an opportunity where Elise moved into a management position. After hearing great things about her work ethic and leadership, She was recruited by an assistant store manager to be in that role. Elise even worked 2 jobs at once and earned recognition for being a top performer while keeping her compassion, flexibility, and empathy. Today, Elise volunteers with 773 Nurture, which you've all heard about, who helps homeless communities here in Chicago. She co-founded this organization with a previous alumni BankWorks graduate. Her name is Anna Chavez. She enjoys philanthropy and wishes to continue doing so with the knowledge she will gain at a financial institution. Elise hopes to secure a job as a personal banker, relationship banker, because not only will she be able to provide financial literacy to her community, but also help establish a network of committed, like-minded individuals to help nurture those in need. Congratulations, Elise Diaz Sanchez. Okay. Moving on to our next graduate, Nayeli Espinosa Carmona. Nayeli Espinosa Carmona is bilingual. She speaks fluently English and Spanish. She has a recognition for building her confidence to a top level during the BankWorks training. She has 5 years of experience in cash handling and customer service, 1 year in retail sales. She's also earned her Universal Banker certification through American Bankers Association. Nayeli is looking for the opportunity to become a relationship banker with hopes to continue to serve those in need of the financial advice and education. Nayeli Espinosa Carmona was born and raised in the United States in the loving neighborhood called Pilsen. Ever since Nayeli was a young child, she always loved socializing with her neighbors and community and going to school. She is fluent in both languages, English and Spanish, as I mentioned before, and she's very proud of her bilingual skills. However, she did have challenges herself to learn different languages as she was growing up, as her family's primary language was Spanish. She has always been open about appreciating and acknowledging others' beautiful cultures. At a young age, Nayeli managed to see things differently in various perspectives. Nayeli was raised in a Hispanic low-income household where her parents worked minimum wage jobs and Spanish was their first language. In her household, working hard for what you want was the everyday saying that helped her humble and give her perspective of putting into work and get what she wanted. Even when she didn't have enough of everything, like everyone else, she was always shared her love, food to whomever crossed her path or needed it. At the age of 15, Nayeli volunteered at her middle school at San Pio's V School to help serve food to the homeless in the community. She is very welcoming and sees light in everyone. So of course, this opened up her eyes even more in being passionate in wanting to help others. During COVID, she also assisted by giving donations of food during the Fiesta del Sol to her community. Education, like I mentioned, has always been a priority to Nayeli. Her parents wanted Nayeli and her sister Nancy, which you'll hear about soon, to make an education their priority. So Nayeli was awarded as a Peacemaker Medal of the Year in high school, where she also received honor classes and took a few AP classes, including AP Computer Science, Literature, and Spanish language. Her dedication in studying and learning and being coachable in school granted her with being on the principal's list and receiving a few scholarships after graduating high school. Cash handling and being able to provide customer service has always been on Nayeli's strongest skills. Being able to interact with customers to make their day and her staff has always been an achievement wherever she worked until now. Recently, she works at Metro by T-Mobile, where her team was awarded top customer service for providing the production and volume at her location. Even though she came from a different background as many, her parents taught that the real work ethic and how to be true to themselves should always be important. Failing is not always a bad case. In fact, it just motivates her to continue her determination until she accomplishes what she desires. Despite Nayeli being very hardworking and understanding of others, she enjoys living life. And she also has been joining the swimming team at UIC. She describes swimming as a quiet place because she feels like she is a free dolphin, where she is able to hear echoing of everything in her surroundings beautifully. Being part of the BankWorks program has helped Nayeli gain confidence in trusting herself and her ability in being knowledgeable of financial literacy. Nayeli is looking to help people who are unaware of their resources the financial institution offer because sometimes they're afraid to ask for the fear of rejection. Nayeli would like to change that. Nayeli Espinosa Carmona's goal is to help educate individuals in banking institutions and make a difference in their lives, especially in communities where asking for help is not really normalized. Her ability of being patient, empathizing, and building rapport with customers will make her a great fit for the financial industry as a relationship universal bankers. Congratulations, Nayeli Espinosa Carmona. Next up, well, yes, sometimes our BankWorks training is a family affair. So our next up graduate is Nancy Espinosa Carmona. Nancy is Nayeli's sister, which both participated in my cohort and took BankWorks training at the same time. Nayeli is also English, bilingual in English and Spanish. She has 3 years of experience in sales, customer service, and cash handling. She has retail sales experience with strong balancing and cash handling abilities. She also earned her Universal Banker certification from the American Bankers Association. She, as I mentioned, both were born in Pilsen by a single mom who taught her to speak Spanish fluently and taught her to always work hard to get whatever she wants in life. The economy hasn't always been great, but her mother never complained. Instead, she would push them harder to achieve their goals. Nancy grew up with these values to show her that she continues to use and improve life. Growing up, Nancy would work 2 jobs, even though her mother would ask her not to stretch herself too much. Nancy always wanted to challenge herself, as her mother once taught her. Throughout all their schools, she gained experience and volunteered in the community. Nancy participated in food drives at PNCC, also volunteered as a student teacher at her high school, where she organized a Latin dance group where she was able to teach those around her. After school, Nancy also worked at a phone carrier company where she gained customer service skills and cash handling skills. She loves to interact with customers, listens to their needs, and makes suggestions while providing a great customer service experience in her community. She likes to give the wow customer service experience. In addition, Nancy received the #1 store achievement award in customer retention in April of this year, 2022. When Nancy heard about the BankWorks program from her family friend, which is also a graduate from BankWorks, Diana Pastenes, a BankWorks graduate, Nancy was very excited to further her education and gain the knowledge and skills her friend gained. Nancy's ultimate goal is to become a successful relationship banker and build customers' relationships to help them and educate them in financial literacy. Nancy takes pride in being bilingual. She desires to educate the Latino community and other communities to reach their financial goals and manage their money and be successful economically. Nancy is beyond thankful for the opportunity of given to her by Association House of Chicago and BankWorks. Nancy is confident and excited to apply the skills she has gained from BankWorks to her career in banking as a universal banker. Congratulations, Nancy Espinosa Carmona. All right, we're going to move on to our next graduate. Our next graduate is Jonathan Estrella. Jonathan is also bilingual. He speaks English and Spanish, holds 3 years of customer service experience, cash handling, and sales, enjoys working with customers to help satisfy their need, along while always giving a nice, bright smile. American Bankers Association also assisted with Jonathan in receiving his Universal Banker certification recently. Jonathan was born in Chicago and was raised in McKinley Park area. Jonathan is organized, but he's always wanting to improve himself. He attended Benito Juarez High School as a freshman and left at the end of his sophomore year to participate in DeVry University's program, which enabled him to take several college classes. While Jonathan attended DeVry University, he was able to improve a variety of social skills and other skills such as being a team player, but also being accountable while working on a team. Through the experience at DeVry University, Jonathan became responsible and honest and working with integrity. After graduation, Jonathan worked at a retail store, Party City, where he unlocked new skills such as cash handling and customer service skills. And along the way, he set new goals for himself. However, sometimes life can get in the way and slow down how it did for everyone else with most COVID-19. This may have slowed down Jonathan, but it didn't stop him. Jonathan was unemployed due to the pandemic, but was focused on looking for other opportunities available to him. Along the way, he met someone who recommended the BankWorks program, and he always wanted to do something to improve his life. After finding out more about BankWorks, Jonathan would set his mind to graduating from the program and become the next universal banker. In order to do so, Jonathan would have to use his skills he learned from high school, DeVry University, and his past experiences. Jonathan will always be grateful to those who taught him things in recommending him the BankWorks program and during the program in itself. Jonathan believes the banking industry is a perfect place to transfer and utilize his skills to wow his customers and build a stable career. Jonathan is interested in working as a relationship universal banker. Congratulations, Jonathan Estrella. Next up, we have Aaron Anthony Gomez. Aaron is bilingual, speaks English and Spanish, has 3 years in customer service and cash handling, also has earned his Universal Banker certification through American Bankers Association. Aaron was born and raised in Chicago in the Gage Park area with many friends and families to bond and have meaningful relationships. Aaron currently resides now in the Oak Lawn area. Initially, with 4 years of cash handling and customer service, the experience grants him the ease to being able to adapt to new environments and challenges. Aaron has high ambitions for a career which can provide him with the opportunity for professional growth and development. Aaron pursues a career in banking as a universal banker. Alongside, Aaron is filled with character, personality, and has made many visions for his future. Even with all the distractions of the world, he loves to enforce only good vibes, creating a more positive environment for the community. A fun fact for Aaron is that one of his favorite books is Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Growing up in a religious household, he carries a good sense of morality and peace. Aaron believes that a banking career sounds like the perfect place for his skills and characteristics. Even with all the preparation and aspirations, Aaron is open to be coached to develop a professional, stable career. Aaron wishes to improve his community and succeed in his upcoming new banking career as the next relationship banker. Congratulations, Aaron Anthony Gomez. Next up, we have Miriam Hernandez. Just the last name, no relation. Miriam Hernandez is receiving a special recognition, not only for not missing a day in class, but always being extremely punctual and prepared for class for BankWorks. I believe that she probably arrived to class even before time and studied and then came into class. She is very dedicated and determined. She is bilingual, English and Spanish. She has 1 year in customer service and cash handling. She has an associate's degree with honors in business, and she's also earned her Universal Banker certification. Miriam Hernandez is the oldest of her 2 brothers. Being the oldest has provided her with the opportunity to become a role model for her siblings. Miriam learned how to be a leader, responsible, and hardworking. On the other hand, she's also very dedicated to learning new things, loves taking challenges, and uses creativity for her projects and assignments. Her goal is to have a perspective of different working environments. Miriam gained experience with many kinds of client interactions while working as a cashier in a fast food restaurant and a bubble tea store. Additionally, Miriam has taken part in charitable activities, including food drives and park cleanups. She has additionally offered to give financial education classes to primary school children through the program called Junior Achievement. Moreover, the achievement that she has received are perfect attendance, honors, and student of the month in her education. Miriam is excited to be part of the financial institution and wishes to be in the position of a bank teller. Miriam desires to become part of the banking industry because it involves helping the community and giving back to improve their financial stability. She is hoping to reach a higher position and grow in banking and wants to develop new skills throughout the new journey in her financial industry. Congratulations, Miriam Hernandez. She is looking to be hired as a teller. Next up, we have our graduate, Nidia Mendoza. Nidia Mendoza has also earned a recognition for building a high confidence through the BankWorks training. She is bilingual and speaks English and Spanish. She has 8 years of experience in sales, cross-selling, cash handling, and operations. She has 10 years experience in retail management, leadership, with strong balancing and cash handling abilities and customer service skills. Nidia loves to establish rapport with customers and colleagues, passionate and driven to exceed expectations, and is a solid team player. She's also earned her certification as a universal banker. Nidia Mendoza was born in Chicago, Illinois, and raised in Pilsen most of her childhood. When Nidia turned 15 years old, her family moved from Pilsen to Archer Heights, where she attended Curry Metropolitan High School. During her last year, Nidia took a job opportunity at McDonald's, and she started saving up to go to college and take some classes. Shortly after, due to Nidia's flexibility and determination and being a reliable team player, Nidia was promoted to a crew trainer, where she trained most of the new hires. Nidia became Employee of the Month for a few times. Before you knew it, Nidia was offered another promotion to a shift manager position. Nidia's work ethic is beyond measured, always willing to expand her knowledge. Later in her work experience, Nidia was hired as a retail sports store called SportsMart for a part-time cashier position. Every opportunity that Nidia has ever given, she has given her all, wanting to make sure that she exceeds and goes over expectations. Nidia received recognition for passing all her mystery shopper visits surveys. Nidia's hard work paid off, and she was then offered a customer service lead position, leading a team of 15 cashiers, all while also taking college classes. Nidia also gained experience in training her team in customer service, sales, and warranties. Nidia and her team were the top performing team in the store in the region. The management team was very proud of the impact Nidia was making with the customer service team and was recognizing her for her persistence and detail-oriented skills. Nidia is known to have an agile and quick mind. She has 18 plus years in customer service and cash handling, 15 plus years in leadership and management, which consists of operations, sales, and receiving e-commerce. Nidia has the potential to achieve what she puts her minds to. Nidia likes to spend time also with her family on her free time, vacations, run races, such as the 5K, half marathons. She's very busy. Nidia ran a marathon which she was extremely proud of, and she achieved many goals. Nidia is a team player, easily coachable, and loves to achieve results. Nidia's goal is to become a bank branch manager one day and continue to grow within the financial industry and banking. Congratulations, Nidia Mendoza. All right, we have one more, and we have Yogita Pai. Yogita, she's also received a recognition for on-time homework submission and perfect attendance. And I just want to say a special mention for Yogita because she actually drove sometimes more than an hour and a half to get to class from the suburbs to make it to our South location at AVI, Arturo Velasquez Institute. She was very determined and dedicated to improve her soft skills and hard skills for the workforce. She is a multilingual polyglot and speaks multiple languages such as English, Hindi, Marathi, Koani, Kannada, and Gujarati. She has 5 years experience in cash handling, customer service, and office management. She also has 8 years experience in data entry and administrative tasks, as well as 2 years in training and educating students. She has also earned her bachelor degree in commerce and also her certification as a universal banker. Yogita Pai is now residing in the southwest suburbs in Aurora. She was born and brought up in India and currently lives here in Aurora. Due to her nature of her father's job, she traveled and lived in many different states in India, each one so different from the last language, culture, lifestyle, and food. Due to this, she picked up many languages and cultures and the ability to adapt quickly to the new situations and be a quick thinker and problem solver. In addition, Yogita has also earned her bachelor's degree in commerce, where she learned several areas and studies such as, excuse me, accounting, banking, business, sustainability, human resource management, and international business. Yogita has also enjoyed volunteering in her daughter's school. In her spare time, Yogita also picks up her paints and brushes, as she enjoys painting pictures as a hobby. Yogita also enjoys spending time with her community and friends, where they perform songs and cultural dances at her culture shows. Yogita decided to rejoin the workforce within the education sector. Excuse me.
We're gonna give Luce just a moment. She'll be right back.
I apologize. I am back. As I mentioned, Yogita decided to rejoin the workforce within the education sector. Yogita has helped her balance her role as a mom as well as a working woman, in which she learned a lot of customer service skills, cash handling, and office management. Recently, she came across the BankWorks program through her friends from Washington State, who referred her here in Chicago. Yogita hoped that she could go back into the workforce within an area where she could find financial stability. That's how she joined BankWorks, through Association House of Chicago. In this process, Yogita learned to drive on highways, which she never did before. To her, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to rejoin the financial banking industry and make her career as a universal banker. Yogita is a disciplined, quick learner, adaptable, very efficient, and a very good team player. Yogita hopes that she can help the customers in her financial needs and services as a universal banker. Congratulations, Yogita. Badhe ho Yogita. BankWorks graduates, congratulations to all. Once again, you made it. Now we will soon start your transition into the banking careers by beginning our job fair shortly. And of course, you may continue to celebrate yourselves with your friends and family afterwards. I enjoyed having you in the class this cohort and appreciate all your efforts you put into your work. You will continue to do well in your careers and goals in life because you have the right attitude towards learning and towards others. I wish you the best of luck in your employment search. Surely you will go on to do great things. Remember to use the tools, resources, and knowledge that you've learned here in BankWorks training to help you prepare for your future banking careers. I believe in you. You should never doubt a second to aim for the best and achieve all that may seem out of your reach. Best of luck to all of you. It's been a pleasure being your instructor and a very memorable one. I am very, very proud of you. Congratulations, BankWorks graduates.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Luz. That concludes our 2022 cohort 24-25 graduation ceremony. We ask everyone right now if they can unmute and celebrate our graduates. Congratulations on behalf of Association House and BankWorks.
Congrats, we did it.
Hello.
Yay!
Guys,
Woo! Congratulations, everyone.
proud of you guys.
Go out.
Well
done.
Everyone will be missed.
Yes.
See you, Miss Sherry.
I did not know everybody was that breathtaking when it came down to your background.
Everybody's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, impressive.
You have been among greats.
Definitely.
It was an honor.
And even bigger honor is going to be seeing you guys in the field.
Yes.
Yes.